So I'm Richard Mellis. I work for Southern Geophysical. I'm a field geologist working with them. Half of what I do is field research and the other half is working in the office, processing the data, pumping out the reports for people. A lot of what we do is for councils or big commercial companies. We basically do non-invasive ground research. Means we don't do auger holes, boreholes, anything like that. Quite often people will bring in engineers and they will come on site, do a couple of boreholes, and we're here to fill in the data in between. So the research that we do, such as the resistivity line we've got set up in the background, it's a way of measuring what's under the ground, the different layers. Perhaps there's a gravel layer, a sandy layer, and people don't want the sandy layer. They might want to dig it out and only have the gravel layer. The resistivity survey or the radar survey, another survey we're doing at the time, is one or two methods for detecting what's under the ground without actually having to go and dig it up. So the cables we've got in the background, we have 96 electrodes, which are just metal spikes plugged into the ground. Cables connected to all those spikes, and all of those are connected to the computer. And the computer is inducing a current on two outer electrodes, measuring the difference between the inner electrodes, and that tells us the electrical resistance of the ground at any particular location. We step those electrodes wider and we measure deeper and deeper, and by measuring the resistance in the ground we can tell you what type of material is in the ground by combining this data with borehole logs. So for instance, a gravel layer will be highly resistive and a clay layer that's saturated will have very low resistance. So we can tell you where those layers are in the ground, whether or not they're dipping, whether there's a channel, things like that, and from that people can determine what do we do moving forward from here.